David Lee Meggett was an American former football running back and return specialist who played in the National Football League for 10 seasons. However, his crimes cast a shadow over his career, and everything came to an end. All the great things Meggett accomplished on the field were overshadowed by his conduct off the field. Meggett was born on April 30, 1966, in Charleston, South Carolina. Troubles began for him before he was even born, as his father abandoned his mother and his siblings before Meggett's birth. His childhood was rough due to financial instability. Not given much of a chance to succeed, and the lure of street life waiting just outside the front door, Meggett told his family he was going to make it big. The road to riches began when he attended Bonds Wilson High School in Charleston, where he was the quarterback for the football team. This became the start of a promising career. Even though he was only 5 feet at that time, he was very competitive and had his mind stuck to victory. As he was ending his prep career, Meggett received a scholarship from Morgan State and took the opportunity steadily. However, he did not stay at Morgan State for too long and switched to Towson. He played college football at Division II Towson State University. In 1988, Meggett was known as one of the most electrifying players. During a game against the University of New Haven Chargers, he set a Towson record with 221 rushing yards. Meggett was named Towson's first ever All-American after running for 844 yards and 12 touchdowns. In his senior season, Meggett led the team in rushing yards and touchdowns, while also setting a school record for average yards per kickoff return and kickoff return touchdowns, earning him the Walter Payton Award. His career average of 25.5 yards per kickoff return was also a school record. Moving on to his NFL career, Meggett was selected in the 5th round of the 1989 NFL Draft. Meggett was used frequently as both a rusher and a receiver in his NFL career, but was primarily used to return kickoffs and punts on special teams. He led the league in punt return yards in his rookie season while gaining 577 kickoff return yards, 531 receiving yards, and 117 rushing yards, earning him a trip to the Pro Bowl. Meggett led the NFL in punt return yards again in his 2nd season, helping the Giants record a 13-3 regular season record and a 2019 victory over the Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl XLV. During the 1990 postseason, Meggett saw his duties increase when starting running back Rodney Hampton went down with an injury. Splitting time with veteran back Otis Anderson, he had a solid performance in the Super Bowl, recording 129 all-purpose yards. After 4 more seasons with New York, Meggett signed with the Patriots in 1995, reuniting with his coach Bill Parcells, who had been his coach with the Giants. In 1996, he had the best season of his career, recording 1,266 all-purpose yards, earning his 2nd trip to the Pro Bowl, and helped New England gain a berth in Super Bowl XLV. Although his team lost the game 35-21 to the Green Bay Packers, his performance was solid, recording 155 total yards. Meggett spent 1 more year with the Patriots, then joined the New York Jets in 1998, but played in just 2 games during the season. Meggett was not re-signed by the Jets. Receiving no offers from any other team, Meggett retired at the age of 32, just 2 years after making the Pro Bowl. In his 10 NFL seasons, Meggett amassed 1,648 rushing yards, 336 receptions for 3,083 yards, 3,708 punt return yards, and 5,566 yards returning kickoffs. In total, Meggett gained 14,005 all-purpose yards and scored 29 touchdowns. He also completed 4 of 8 passes for 114 yards and 4 touchdowns. At the time of his retirement, his 3,709 punt return yards were the most in NFL history. He has since been passed by Brian Mitchell. Subsequent to his NFL career, Meggett was an assistant coach at American International College for over 2 years and then moved to North Carolina. Talking of his criminal offenses, in 1990, Meggett was arrested for soliciting a prostitute but was acquitted. He was charged with assaulting his then-girlfriend in 1995 but was acquitted because the judge believed that the girlfriend was the aggressor and that Meggett had used reasonable force to keep her out of his house. In 1998, Meggett was arrested in Toronto after authorities alleged that he assaulted an escort worker after a three-way sexual encounter. It was reported that Meggett was attending a bachelor party and had sex with an escort named Betty. Due to the fact that Meggett was drunk, he got aggressive with her, and when Betty decided to leave, Meggett slapped her across the face multiple times. Following this incident, the Patriots promptly released him per their zero-tolerance policy for violence against women enacted after the fallout from their selection of Christian Peter 2 years earlier. According to a 2014 report in SB Nation, the public reaction to this incident led other teams to look askance at Meggett's history with women, and this was the reason why his number was never called by another NFL team after the Jets opted against re-signing him. A trial on the assault charge ended with a hung jury in April 2000. In later years, Meggett faced multiple legal and financial difficulties related to his failure to pay child support. He'd earned over $10 million during his NFL career, but he was required to pay a significant amount of back-owed child support to his 9 children, which depleted his earnings. Due to financial troubles, he eventually sold his Super Bowl ring on eBay. Meggett was the Parks and Recreation Director in Robertsonville, North Carolina. Most of his salary was diverted to pay child support, but because of his troublesome behavior, he was forced to resign in 2006 after he was accused of sexually assaulting his former girlfriend. In 2007, he was convicted of misdemeanor sexual battery in the case, but only received 2 years probation. Authorities said he was allowed to move back to South Carolina to serve his probation. Soon afterward, in 2008, he was accused of sexually assaulting a 17-year-old girl, but prosecutors opted not to pursue the case due to their questions about her credibility. In January 2009, Meggett was arrested for raping and robbing a part-time student at the College of Charleston. On November 10, 2010, Meggett was convicted of burglary and criminal sexual conduct and sentenced to 30 years in prison. Meggett is serving his sentence at Lieber Correctional Institution in Ridgeville, South Carolina. His earliest possible release date is July 6, 2034. While incarcerated, Meggett has accrued several disciplinary infractions for possessing or attempted possession of a cell phone, leading to detention and loss of privileges. Meggett's story serves as a reminder that greatness can be overshadowed by personal conduct. Meggett's career was a very promising one, but his crimes ended up cutting it off. He committed a series of crimes and never learned from them. He forgot that he had to pay for his actions. This reminds us to always consider what consequences our actions might have. This brings us to the end of our video. Make sure to subscribe to get more such videos on your feed. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you again.